So we're just going to get into it. Okay. So if you're just a distributor starting out, or, you're brand new to the call, we can get you in our new distributor chat. We'll send you the first steps video, and we'll send you my story video. So you just kind of know like the background of this team. We are 6 years strong. We are in momentum. We are going to the president's team and beyond as an organization. So welcome. And whatever goals and dreams that you have inside of this team, feel free to let us know whatever it is that you want. And we have each other as a family to support you. Awesome. Keep sharing. Happy birthday, Anthony Gooden. What's up? He's like 39 years old and he looks 13. That's that Herbalife. And so let me get into this call, you guys. We have a guest speaker tonight. Get ready to take notes. Be super present. You guys already know we're sitting at my kitchen table. We're sitting in kings and queens chairs. So for those of you that have planned your day around sitting here for our 2 Zoom calls on Monday night to be here to build your business, congratulations to you. We have a guest speaker tonight who's been in the business for over 27 years in Herbalife. Some of you may have heard the name Mark Hughes, who is the first distributor and the founder of Herbalife in the 80s. None of us have been able to meet him, unless you have, and I don't know about it. We haven't met him. We just have the honor of watching videos and things like that. So Michael Katz here, who's on the line, he has met and been trained by Mark Hughes and Jim Rohn. Some of you guys might be listening to them for your personal development in the morning, okay? And we are so honored and happy that Michael is a friend of ours. Every day I feel like I'm in a dream of Herbalife that I get to be friends with these beautiful people. And I'll tell you what, it's because since the beginning, I've introduced myself to these amazing like legends in Herbalife because I knew that I would be just like them one day. And even my mom, Mama Lakin over here, was the first person to really join my business and my vision. And when she would come to events with me, I would like walk her up to people and introduce her to everyone. I'm like, people are going to know Lakin, and they're going to know this Lakin legacy, and they're going to know my team and this family that we create. So you guys are calling in from Canada, Philly, San Diego, Houston, Florida. I mean, I'm probably missing so many places, but just want to like shout out to you guys. Okay, so Michael, he was a customer first, and his story with him and his wife is super inspiring, so you guys will hear that. So once a year, distributors who are at the top level, who have taught other people to get to the top level, they get a Mark Hughes bonus. Once a year, every March, you guys may have seen me go there. I go there just to watch them receive their bonuses right now, and he's received 20 of them, 20 times. This month, he's on track to hit 4 million lifetime achievement. There's not many people who have done that. Let's see. So he'll be the 4th in company history. Thanks, Alex. Love you so much. Let's see. He has 13 president's team members in his organization. If you guys know Enrique Carrillo, he is in his organization amongst many other powerful people. Let's see, 3 of the president's team members in his organization, they are in the top 10 in the United States of America. Who sees himself top 10 in Herbalife one day? One day, right? Just take staying power. Just don't quit, right? Keep going. He's raising 2 teenagers. They're incredible human beings. He was a part of the Mark Hughes strategy and planning team in the mid-90s to 2015, and is a huge part of the company today. You may have seen him train on stage. He's hilarious, which is always fun to be around. He's 30K. That means his organization of supervisors in his 3 levels, okay, that's just 3 levels, that's not counting underneath, is doing over $600,000 in consumption every single month, you guys. That is our next level as Style Bell organization. So we're at 20K, okay? 30K, going from 400 to 600 is our next step as a team, which we are gonna help Style get there. We're also gonna be Style's number 2 diamond, which is super dope, you guys. We're gonna knock that out. Probably hit some cuts in December, or if not, at the beginning of the year. So get ready, you guys. Write this in your notes. Let's see. Personally trained by Mark Hughes and Jim Rohn. And he built Philadelphia in the 90s. And there's just so many other things that I could say. But without further ado, I'm going to unmute you guys, and let's give Michael Katz a warm welcome. Give it up.
Mikey!
Hey, Mike from Philly.
Let's go, Eagles!
Let's go, Mike!
Yeah.
F-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Listen, I haven't been. Nicole, we got to handle some business here for just 1 second, okay? Philly, listen, I haven't been to an Eagles game in 20 years. I'm coming in, visit my sister, my mother. I'm going to go to the Broncos game on the 5th of November, and then I'm coming out. We're taking Carson, our 15-year-old son. My buddy Mark and I are taking him for his birthday to his first NFL game. We're going to go see the Rams get destroyed by the Eagles in L.A. That's after San Diego. I'm going to be with you on the 9th at your STS in December. So mark that down. Who do you know in San Diego? Oh, wait, Nicole, check that picture. If I don't look good, we got to stage a different one. I just saw that. Make sure I look good. I always give the women the opportunity to look at the pics. No, it's all good. So listen, I want to appreciate everybody being on tonight. And I know at one level it's rhythm, right? Because you got Monday, you got back-to-back calls. You got the team call, the dream team call, and then you got the HOM coming up after this. So we're going to manage the time here and make sure everybody can take a deep breath and get ready for the opportunity to introduce our friends, our family, and people that we intersect with to the greatest opportunity on the planet, Herbalife, okay? So for those of you who don't know me, Michael Katz, like Nicole said, 27 years plus on the products. Here's the deal, okay? I simply, at 30 years old, felt horrible. No energy, okay? I was underweight, but I wasn't thinking necessarily I was underweight. So I wasn't searching from a weight management standpoint, but I did feel horrible, heavily in debt. At the time, a lot of you or some of you know my wife, Debbie, but at the time we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and it was a really, really, really hard time for us, okay? I'm just going to be real with you. I know this is being recorded, but hopefully, it'll be legal and everything that could be said, but it's just going to be a little bit raw. I was already 6 years sober when I found Herbalife, but I was with Deb for those 6 years and she wasn't, okay? And when I got started on my Herbalife journey, Debbie wasn't well. And so then you wonder how well I was. That's the whole point. Okay. This isn't necessarily about Debbie, so we were in a sticky situation. Okay. And it wasn't good. And I felt, like I said, I felt horrible. My buddy, Paul Lyle, and those of you in Philly know Paul. Okay. Paul had lost 40 pounds on the products. He had kept it off for a year plus. And I met Paul and I believed that, but I was confused because I didn't think the products could be for me. And here's your first note if you haven't already taken one, okay? But your first is that Paul did a very simple thing. He asked me what I was looking to accomplish if I were to, do something. And I told him I wanted to feel better, okay? And he pulled out the product and the catalog, and he did a product presentation with me. Because although I knew there was a business opportunity and I needed one, as much confidence as I have today is as little confidence and self-esteem as I had at that time. So there was no way. This thing looked like a big weight loss deal to me. I was messed up. I had effed it up. I had done everything backwards. Okay, college graduate with an accounting degree, heavily in debt. That does not make a lot of sense, but it was real. Okay. And he showed me what products I could use, and he had what would be considered a Today magazine, but it wasn't. It was a Herbalife journal from the 80s, and there was a picture of a guy in there, and he pointed to him, and he was an Olympic discus thrower in Australia who gained, like 8 kilos or something. I didn't even know what that – I knew it was kilos, but I didn't know how many pounds. But so between Paul's results, the possibility of getting results, and the picture of the guy that I said, okay, Paul's not, this was my rationale. I'm not kidding you, okay? And this could be not for us because we're already involved, but for anybody we're talking with, right? I sorted it through, okay? Paul didn't look like he was dying. If the picture of the guy was half true, maybe I could feel better. And that's all I wanted was to feel better, okay? And I paid full price for the products, okay, and I got started on my journey. And here's the thing that Paul did. I don't know if Paul knew my financial situation or not, but he certainly didn't judge it. He laid out, there was no PDM, there was no 24, there was no, herbal concentrate tea, no NRGT. So my basic program was Formula 1, 2, 3, okay. I had NRG tablet, Shazandra. I had Male Factor, of course, okay. And then I also had a gallon of aloe ready to drink. And Lifeline, if I didn't say that, and NRG tabs, where my NRG tabs to me are so tight, okay? After 27 and a half years, I wake up, pop 2, life is good, okay? Life is so good. But here's the thing, I paid cash for that, and at one level, I obviously figured out how to find it, right? But I really didn't have it. Like if my mother knew that, even though I was 30 years old, she would have had a coronary, right? And the point being is that Paul painted the value. He didn't sell it, but he knew what I wanted. He shared what was available. He let me choose. I put the program together and I paid the money because I wanted the results. And I believed that I could get him. He told me it was a money back guarantee. Truth is, I didn't want my money back. I wanted it to work. And in 2 days, even energy throughout the day. Okay, tired at the right time. Went on to gain 8 pounds on the weight gain program, but that's not why I got on. But that is, right, what happens when you've got nutrition at that cellular level. You start eating better, taking the shiz out, right, and making the difference. I wasn't working out, okay? When you feel horrible, it's not the first priority on your list to work out. When you feel like you can't even breathe and you're toasted, right, all the time. Okay, so, and so that was what happened. Now, 2 weeks on the products, my buddy at work, I used to lease space in shopping center. My buddy at work said to me, "What in the are you doing?" And, it wasn't the right word, but he got the point across. I said, "Look, I'm doing shakes, tablets, I'm eating food, I feel great." And he puts his hand on his belly and he goes, "Can I lose this?" And I go, "Well, Paul did." And it sounds like Dennis Dowdell story. And I handed the phone and got Paul on the phone. And Paul came back and goes, "Look, Ken wants $200 worth of products." And Paul said, "Listen, I know you don't want to do the business. I'm a Leo, right? So I'm loud." And I was loud back then about never doing the business. And that was more, when I tell the truth about it, it was all a bark and a cover up for my insecurities. Okay? So he said, "Look, I know you don't want to do the business. And by the way, side note, but it's a good note, Paul always interacted with me as a client. He would drop little things at the end of his follow-up with me. Oh, by the way, our friend Rob, right? By the way, it's unbelievable. Rob got 4 new customers. He's having a blast. And, I'll talk to you in a couple days. Bye, click, right? So he'd plant some superficial seeds with me about the business, but he really honored that I said no. It's a big, big point for me. There's a time and a place, and it happened quickly. In my case, Ken wanted to know. So he goes, "Come over and get a referral product," or here's what the line that got Michael Katz. "Come over and I'll teach you how to find and take care of a handful of people and maybe get your products for free." He didn't guarantee me to get no products for free. He didn't talk to me about, "Come over, you'll save money." No, eating cheap. That's not our deal, okay? Our deal is to build businesses, okay? At least it's our philosophy. Doesn't mean people don't get a license and become a preferred member and eat cheap, okay? It's we just don't lead with it. And I'm not suggesting that one is better than the other. I'm just saying it started in that early stages with me in my DNA, that it was so simple even today to share with someone, whether it's at the nutrition club or at fit camp or on the street or in the mall or whatever. They go, "Well, I heard that stuff is expensive." And it's like, listen, on a per meal basis, boom, you could get started in our area for X per meal, probably cheaper than McDonald's, let alone the nutrient value. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." I'm like, "Listen, come visit with me, sample the products, and let me just talk to you, because I can show you a way. If you enjoy the products, I can show you a way to find a handful of people and maybe get your products for free." I'm already planting opportunity, small business. Yes, product for free. Do you know what I mean? So as opposed to like, "Look, don't worry about finances. You can get a discount, become a preferred member." Just not my deal. Plenty of teams do that. I love it. Bigger checks than mine. Okay, so it all works. Okay, I'm just giving you a little bit of my DNA. So I'm not trying to swing anything on anybody's team. That's not why I get on these calls. I get on these calls to share the journey. So here's what happens. I go over and I get registered. And I want you to get clear about this, because in today's Herbalife and over the last handful of years, and certainly inside your lineage and your upline, and, it was, people move fast. People have moved fast in today's Herbalife, okay? I was part-time for 3 years. I did muscle my way to supervisor, okay? Retailing the products, consuming the products, inventorying the products. Today it would not have happened in 1 month like it did back in 1990. I probably would have been on the 2 or 3 month deal if I had to do it today at the rate at which I went back then. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I did inventory some and I consumed some, but I did move a bunch, okay? And I didn't know what I was doing. I just felt good. And then when Ken wanted products, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe this could work. What if I knew what I was doing, okay? So I locked into the trainings really early on. First of all, it made sense. I needed a healthy environment. Kind of like, but for those of you who aren't that familiar with recovery, bless your heart, okay? But nonetheless, it's kind of like an AA or something where, a community of people, whether it be a church or a mosque or a synagogue or, I don't know, the Boy Scouts or a knitting club or whatever it is, but like-minded people being together makes a difference. It's Monday night. You guys are together. Of course you are. Like-minded people participating together, okay? So the meeting structure and our Herbalife opportunity meetings and the different events that we were able to participate back in the early 90s, I made sure that I organized my schedule to fit those meetings in, even though I didn't know what was necessarily happening. So I got to supervisor, and this is where I want you to key in. I did not qualify as supervisor front level for 2 years. Not because I was against recruiting. I just had a lot of work to do here. And however it was, do you know what I mean? 8 months after I became supervisor, Deb put herself in rehab. Okay, so you could only imagine after a 12-year run, 85 pounds, 89 pounds, one or the other. I don't know, it changes every week when I say it. It's either one or the other, but it was really underway. For those of you who know Deb today, she's probably, muscle, but, she's probably at about 120. I don't know if I get in trouble saying that, so this is being recorded, so sorry, honey, if I'm not supposed to say that, but in case you hear it. But, but you could kind of get, for those of you who know Deb and picture her physique, now picture, the whole point is picture, 30 pounds, whatever it is, 25 pounds less, right? So they said 2 weeks out, her organs probably would have started shutting down. It was not good, okay? And people have different horrific stories and all that kind of jazz. I heard Styles' story. For some reason, I didn't quite get it. I got it at the LDW. Somehow I missed the whole thing in the beginning about not eating. And maybe it just, I needed to hear it this time on stage and, really get one more time the power and the dignity of the human spirit. And when the timing's right and the student's available and around, man, it's time to make it happen, okay? And not everybody's timing is when they say, yes, I'm ready to roll. So that's a skill you develop of who to spend your time with. And it's not an exact science, I can tell you that, because you never know who you're talking to. I was a big fat no to the business, okay? It's the best lie I ever told, okay? But I really believed it in the beginning. Okay, so, but 2 years to qualify as supervisor, 3 years part-time. And then when we drew a line in the sand, we were at an Herbalife extravaganza. By the way, Deb came out of the hospital, unbelievable eating, food plan, not unbelievable, just an abstinent food plan, no sugar, no flour. She made a request to me in Family Week to take sugar out, of the house for 90 days. And here we are all these years later, no sugar in the house, okay? And we've got a clean plan. And so that she worked in with her OA sponsor, how to use the Herbalife nutrition for healthy weight gain and for a healthy plan as opposed to a diet. Bless her. I don't even know the sponsor's name. I'm sure she remembers, but, bless her heart that she embraced it. And Deb gained, 10 pounds of muscle, lost 8.5 inches off her butt, her thighs, and her belly, and, toned up. And that's just the power of, great nutrition to the body, right? So, but then 3 years to the top level of the company, and here's what happened. We went to an extravaganza. Okay, you guys got LDWs coming up. What do we got? We got Orlando, Philly, somewhere else this weekend as well, I'm sure. But Orlando and Philly, I'm present to more than others. Okay, right now. But here's the point. The point is that we got to a big event and our eyes were blown wide open. And Mark Hughes launched a trip. Some of you may have heard of it, the Cruise with Hughes. The point is we had to do 110,000 volume points, right, in the year. You know, I got pinned world team by Mark Hughes wearing jeans and sneakers. I can't find the picture's gone. I don't know where the picture is. Jeans and a jean jacket, and I got schooled by Matika. Some of you know Mark Matika, my upline, my best friend, my best man at my wedding, right? Got schooled by him like I can't wear the jean jacket. In fact, I believe that he and Debbie stole it, okay, and had a ceremonial burning, but that's my version of it. They deny it. I now have 3 jean jackets. Okay, when I get chairman's, I'm going to wear the one that Leslie Stanford felt so bad she sent me one from a chairman's vacation, which I have in my closet, but I don't dare wear it because it's all the studs on it say Chairman's Club, and I'm not there yet. But she felt bad about my jean jacket deal. My point is this, is that we locked in and said, why not us? We were crying on the world team. I came home. I gave notice at my real estate job. We were making about $3,000 a month. Okay, maybe it was typical, maybe it wasn't typical. I don't know. You guys know the deal inside a net impression and all that jazz. And I know it's an inside call, but nonetheless, calls get out. And here's the deal. Our belief in ourselves was rock solid. So you want to check in on your belief in yourself. Now, here's the thing. We came home, the belief was high. I guarantee after 10 no's, my belief wasn't so high about that vacation. I just know me. Deb probably was still, ramped up. Takes probably her about 50 or 80 no's to get popped out of, knocked off her horse. Me, I got knocked off easier, okay, back in the day. Now, here's what I've developed, and one of the keys to success is minimizing the amount of time that you're knocked off your belief. It's not a question of will your belief go out the window. The question I have for you is how long are you going to be knocked out? Okay, the famous Rocky quote, whatever it is, it's not about, it's about getting up, right? That's not how it goes, but if not, look up the Rocky quote. But it is that deal because it always happens to all of us, okay? Human nature is, things are slipping out. It's not that easy. It may be a simple concept to hold the future, right? Nicole was talking about 30K for style. We're talking about Nicole Lakin's President's Team run, okay? We're talking about you on this call elevating your game and changing your pins, which is all part of Nicole's, Prez team, which is style, second diamond. For people to change pins all within an organization, all boats need to rise, okay? So it's the collection of pin changes that make the pop, okay? So it's not just, they're doing it. So where I kind of deviated was in this thing called belief, okay? So it's a good time to be checking in on your belief because you guys rocketed to your 7.5 at one level, part of an extraordinary team. And yeah, you might say, well, this one made it in 2 years, or, in the LA gang, right? This one made it did, and Celeste did this, and this one did that, and Garen did this, and, and now it's 6 years and, that the organization, here's the thing that I got to tell you. You never know. 2 years it took me to qualify as supervisor. How many people do you know in your org who already quit because they didn't have a supervisor? Maybe that wasn't the reason. But when I say quit, they're gone. They left the treadmill. They're not even walking. They're like gone. Okay, the gal who's on here who's converting from preferred member to distributor, bless your heart. Bless your heart for never letting go and being open to really igniting your business. Look, people need us. Okay, they don't know it, but they need us. Our country, we're the sickest we've ever been. We're the unhealthiest we've ever been. Financially, people are topsy-turvy. We've got solutions for people. So the work that you and I, this is what I'm working with my team about, okay, that I'm working with on a daily basis, is keeping our heads clear and in action. Action is what cures fear. That's not a scientifically proven thing. That's a line that I like, and it's a line that I believe down to my DNA. Anytime I'm fearful about anything, I take first I got to get conscious that I'm fearful, okay? And when I get conscious that I'm fearful, then I have something to say. I got a fork in the road. I can continue to be fearful, or I can interrupt, right? That, like, you know, like the cartoon, right? Smack with the board, right? And next thing you know, I got a choice of taking an action that will dispel fear. Okay. Now, I might be nervous is different than fear. Nervous is nervous. Uh-oh. You know, like, what's the outcome going to be, or this or that or whatever. I hope I don't mess up, blah, 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 blah. And you just walk right into it anyways. Okay. So nervous is different than fear. Fear, though, can be, you know, can really stop you. Okay. So it's our job to identify when we're in that stinking thinking and get straight with ourselves. You want to talk about personal development 101, this is application. I was on a call this morning, right? Close to, you know, probably 100 people live, and, you know, and someone asked me about a specific personal development course. I go, well, first of all, it's Herbalife. So we're going to talk about Herbalife, not about a personal development course, but any of them work. I said, but the truth of the matter is there's plenty of transformed idiots running around. Okay, and then I changed the word from idiot from, you know, plenty of people who got quote unquote transformation in this course, that course, this book, this tape series, this weekend, this 10 days of this or this, blah, 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 blah. But if you don't apply the distinctions of that education into your practical life and your herbal life, I don't know, it was a good time that you had and probably paid big bucks for it, okay? But then I want to apply it to Herbalife. So people come around and they love the camaraderie and they love the community, and we got all the room in the world for people who want to be around us. But then there's a lot of people that want stuff, okay? And I want a lot of stuff too. I want 100 million in the bank. Okay, I want. One is, you know, someone asked me, how do you motivate someone, or how do you champion someone, you know, on what they want? I said, well, you don't. Why are you interacting with someone once? Okay, what someone's committed to, or what someone says they're interested in being held to account for, you can play ball with that, okay? Now, for those of you who are coaching people, you know, it's really key for me that, you know, one of the things that we learned early on is that not every one size doesn't fit all inside of a coaching relationship. And there are plenty of people that are more successful than me that have one way or the highway. It's my way or the highway. And that's the way, you know, and they churn and burn a lot of people, but they got a bigger check than me. So that is a style that can work. It's just my vibe and my DNA and my energy, just not into it, okay? And I'm not better than someone because, like I said, from a successful monetary diamonds position, they got me beat, okay? It's just not my deal, okay? So I'd like to ask every client and every distributor what the question of, and especially in our weight loss challenges, whether it's online or whether it's in person, you know, what's a coach to you? So now we're in this relationship. You're my brand new customer, right? Too many of us say, okay, I'm your, I'm your coach. I'm your Herbalife coach, right? And then just go off coaching people, right? But meanwhile, nothing's defined. The relationship, the coaching relationship is not defined. So now you're laying your most masterful coaching wisdom on someone who doesn't like your freaking style. Then they won't answer your call. And then we pull out good Jim Rohn quotes. The birds must have got him. They weren't really committed. Now, that helps us feel okay, but I don't know that that's accurate. Now, I'm not blaming anybody, or nobody should be shameful about that. I'm just saying you could actually connect, gel, and champion potentially a larger percent of the people that you bring in as clients and distributors If you find out what a coach did, some people like the cheerleading. Some people went to, whatever, their state championship in football and their coaches beat the crap out of it. Man, that guy loves that stuff. Why? Because he went to the freaking national or state championship, for heaven's sakes, right? Someone had the same coach but wasn't that kind of caliber of player, and he got tormented, and it all processed differently, and as a sophomore, he, left the team. You start going like that with that guy, that coach from 10th grade, he's out. I didn't sign up for this. Same thing with the girls, So, people are different strokes. People oftentimes say to me, oh, you just, you're like a chameleon. I go, well, whatever you want to call it, I don't really care, because it sounded like a put down to me. So I had to process it, right? But what if you danced in someone else's listening and you got a lot of stuff done? To me, that sounds like pretty darn smart. As opposed to, I'm not saying that I'm not going to, Deb and I are on the ground. We're working. Okay. We got chairman's insight. We've got a ways to go. It doesn't matter. We got our teenage kids who are, Cody, our daughter, going to be 19, is committed to hitting it with Herbalife, opening up a dance studio. She's got dreams, and Carson's doing his deal, but he's loving the idea of, beating everybody to founders, just, not right now. He's got a license, but, he's got things to do right now. And, but the point is that we're teaching our kids, right? And you're teaching our kids. So I appreciate you, dressing for success. I got the worst potty mouth. So I appreciate you not having a potty mouth. That's very refreshing for my kids. Okay. And, but at the same time, we're all teaching each other, right? And so it's important that you understand who you're working with. Another thing that I have found is so many people have a lot of things to say for long periods of time, and they really don't listen or ask what their people want or what they need. There is, that thing about what people want versus commitment, which I was talking about earlier. But sometimes when, you've got a brand new person or someone relatively new, or someone who has been like the gal who's becoming a distributor. Okay, she may be razor sharp at what she's committed to and all this, but, there are wants and dreams and desires that then we can back it up into what we're going to commit to in the time frame that we have available right now to make it happen. Okay, but you got to be able to settle it down and be with people. I watch too many people move too fast and do too much theater and do too much this and that, and we're not always on the Broadway stage. Okay, we're not always on the LDW stage. Okay, there is real work, and I know you know this, but in case you forgot, okay, there's real work that nobody ever sees. I'm walking around in my sweats, and I had to change my sweatshirt because I wore it 2 days in a row, and then I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to take a picture? Then everything's going to get posted. It's going to be too many green sweatshirts. Right? I got all in my looking good stuff, right? So I had to change my deal. Now I got blue on instead of green, right? But here's the point. The point is that in my town, people don't know me. I mean, certain people do. And I was with 3 girls today. One, the second level gal's got her first 3 customers. Today we did their Tanita and their measurements and all that, right? And they all came. And so one of Jordan says to me, she goes, oh, I'm following you on IG now. And all of a sudden she goes, oh, wow, you got a lot of followers, right? And I'm talking to some of the kings and queens of followers, right? But there's 62. I know exactly how many I have. No. Over 6,000 followers. She goes, oh my gosh. She looks at me, she goes, what are you, famous? Right? I go, in certain areas I probably am, but I'm me. She goes, and then Jasmine, who's on my second level, right, goes, oh, he's famous in the Herbalife world, right? And she goes, somebody said it at a meeting, and I said, I know him, he's my coach, right? And it's just cute, but here's the point. The point isn't about whether I'm famous or not. I'm weighing and measuring, and I'm talking about their food, and I'm talking about timing, and I'm talking about their product, and I'm talking about with the 5'11", high school athlete who does not have, she's now 20, but she does not have a high school athlete body anymore. And she's in her head about how she's never going to be there again. And when I was doing a little bit of work with her, that why not, whether she ever plays competitively or not, why not her? And what if it didn't have to take? So doing the work of bringing what? Write this down. Bring value to the marketplace pays. That Jim Rohn reminded us of that what we get paid for is to bring value to the marketplace. So you want to raise your documented volume, you bring value to the marketplace in building your customer base. Okay, also, our downline distributors who are not supervisors, their success of documenting volume is also going to count towards our documented volume inside of our personal volume, right? And those of you who are looking to finish out your qualifications for Punta Cana, congratulations. But I'm always at this time of the year talking about this, which is whether you're on track or not on track for the vacation. Herbalife will launch another one in January. So you make sense to be in position to either hit it this year or be ready for next year. But you can sit back, but then if you start January with not enough momentum, you potentially are in the same place in October of next year of like another vacation slipping by. So it's not that easy between here to be doing the work, not knowing if you're going to hit. Doing the work over and over and over and over. Consistency over time is probably Deb's and my best attribute. We're not the best at anything. I got it. We're going to be fourth at 4 million. I traded it all in for chairman's. No, well, yeah, not all, but I trade the 4 million in for chairman's. But this is my journey, right? This is our journey. So we'll go through 4 million, okay? And we're totally grateful, and we're a little bit like in awe of how does that happen anyways, and are you serious? We're going to be the fourth in the world ever. That's like silly, okay? And the silly part is like if they only knew us really, like I don't know, how does that happen, right? But we'll own it and we'll show up for it. But the point, gosh, I just lost track. Okay, someone come off mute and tell me where I was. Anybody following?
Over time.
That is, thank you. You're the best. Who was that? Anybody going to say who that was?
Samson.
Yeah. My African friend, I can't do an African thing, but he's into the African deal. I want your next one. I got to see it. I loved it. It's freaking hysterical. And it was motivating. And I bet you're lit up. And I bet you're attracting people, okay? And not because you're sexy, although you might be, but you're not my kind of guy. All right, enough about him. Okay.
I love you, Michael.
Oh, he almost slipped out an African deal there. Okay, so, but the point is consistency over time. It's probably our biggest attribute. So, people go fast, and so many people in LA went fast, and, people in DC and Sharif went lightning speed, and this one and that one, and all over the place, right? But the truth of the matter is you watch 5 years from now. I'm not saying any of those people will be gone. Please don't. They're some of our best friends, right? No. But there's so many people over the years that blew by me, blew me out of the water, okay? And Deb, right? That aren't around anymore, okay? Not like ha, ha, ha. Because I learned and I've got this terminology, it's called patiently impatient. Too much patience could equal like casualness, which could equal casualty, okay? We ain't going there. But there has to be a certain balance between being patient and impatient, like let's go, it's got to happen now. So it's kind of like urgency is always a state of mind that I love to be in. And it is so not emergency. Emergency is throw everything out and save the day. It's an emergency, for heaven's sakes. That's so not what I'm talking about. But an urgentness in talking to this many people a day. What Mark taught us was he asked us constantly to ask ourselves every night, what was your production today? So, not what was your meal prep today. And I'm meal prepping, so don't throw daggers at me, okay? But he didn't ask what's your meal prep today. He didn't ask how much weight you lifted today. How was your snatch today, mama? Okay. Okay, that you understand, CrossFit. Okay, next. All right. So, but he didn't say, what's your production today? So then to back it up, Mark always had this philosophy, and you heard the Mark Hughes plan, and most people start the Mark Hughes plan and they go, yeah, you got to talk to 10 people a day on both sides of the equation. I want to say it differently because I don't know. I don't think I ever talked to 10 people a day. Not like, I cheated the system. Okay, maybe that's why I'm not on chairman's. But I want to say that what Mark talked about was if you could build your momentum or through your consistency over time of invitation to presentation, that you could have 2 presentations about the products and 2 presentations about the business 5 days a week. That'd be 40 presentations a month on both sides of the equation. And then your ratios would be your ratios, okay, whatever they are. It's not fair to say it'll be this or that. Skill level, a little bit of luck, will, and you just have to trust the numbers, okay? Jim Rohn always talked about, there's an acronym, SINALOA, 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 safety in numbers and law of averages. There's always a law of averages, but if you're talking to one person a month and they're a no, you're out of business. That, of course, is elementary, right? So, but if we're talking and so this whole thing about production is, volume, cash flow, new member, new distributors, next level, somebody, doing commerce, okay? So it's like 2 times to bat. Would you like to become an Herbalife customer today? That may not be your actual thing, but you get it, right? Hey, 2 times a day. Would you like to become an Herbalife distributor today? Now, it's not about waking up tomorrow and go, I felt I didn't do 2 and 2. I quit. Stop that. Don't be a baby about this. You're not in kindergarten with Mom and Lakin. Okay? No, it's over time. Okay, do you have in place the ways in which you're finding people to talk to about the product and about the business, okay? Of course, we back the business right into the products. Of course, people are going to get on the product. Personally, you don't get a distributor kit without product, okay? I got it. The 3 trials are in there, but listen, if you only got $100, okay, and you go, well, let me get that, and I'll go, no, we're going to do it differently. We're going to go and we're going to get in my loyalty program. And potentially I might give them 25% off because if they had the license, they get 25% off. I might do that. I might not. And I get them whatever I can get them inside of a basic program that I would do. You might do a different basic program. That's not this call. Okay? When I say it doesn't matter, that's not what we're doing here. But I want them on the products. I want them locked in because if they're locked in on whatever they can afford out of that money, okay, then we got something to do with a product catalog in our hand, potentially a button, and talking to their friends. Okay, to what? To get a grand opening, a house party, a something, a Zoom. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to get something where we can what? Ask for the sale. Would you like to be Nicole's first client? Would you like to be Nicole's third client? Would you like Nicole's on fire? We need help. You know anybody who wants to earn an extra $500 a month or more, not changing much of what they're doing? She just started her business. She's put $240 in her pocket already. We need help. We may not save the planet. They may not build a statue for us, but we're rocking. Who do you know? Okay, then they go on the call that's happening in 12 minutes. I better wrap it up soon. Okay, and they're on the live HOM with the team call. Next thing you know, you're going about, would you like to become an Herbalife distributor tonight? They go, what does it take? Say you get your license, your personalized program. It's going to be unbelievable. Okay? I don't know if that's a bad net impression, but it's going to be unbelievable anyways. Okay, now, here's the thing. You don't got to do anything. But my recommendation is you got to lighten up and get fired up. If you're not light, then you're dancing to something that you've concluded that you're not empowered about. My recommendation is get in touch with your upline, your tab team upline in a confidential conversation and just, and if you really feel that that is not okay, find out from, a couple people on this line that know how to find me, or find me, instant message me on Facebook. 10-minute surgery, you'll be fine. It's painless, I promise. And you'll be fine. You'll be giggling at yourself and you'll be off and running. Okay. That for those leaders on the phone, on the call tonight, I want you to consider that maybe a big part of our job is just listening for where people were humming and now they're not, and go be with them so that they can, that you can have intimate conversation is not the right word, a conversation in a open format where they can let go and get back in action. Said another way, I think you'll get it, but said another way is I'm always looking for where people are messed up so that I can go in and intervene, laugh a little, okay, and support them and set and sail again. Because it's not a question of if they're going to fall off the horse. It's how many times a freaking day, for heaven's sakes. Okay? I quit this business mentally at least 10 times a day. Ask Matika how many times I called him in the beginning. He'd be like, yes, just don't go anywhere. Get off the phone now. You're fine. Talk to a couple more people. I'll see you at the meeting tonight. Make sure you come. It was like crazy in the beginning, right? So I had no belief. But I was smart enough, or I didn't know any better, or Matika was safe enough that I could call this man, right? This guy, right? That I could call him and not be a victim, but I could lean on his belief in me so I could gather strength to have 3 more conversations in the marketplace. And then whether I was producing or not, because I was showing up, that it wasn't like people danced around me or I was a hero, because I didn't do big production at all. We do solid production where, we do a lot of production for a lot of years, but in the beginning it was very little, but we were around. And we were, so pay attention to people. Okay, I know this call is going in a lot of different direction, but fourth quarter sets up first quarter. I know you've heard it, but listen. If there's anything I can leave you with that is most important, is make sure that you got your dancing shoes on right now, okay? And if you don't, get in touch with your upline so that you can let go whatever limiting belief you have. If your check was higher, now it's lower, and you're, stop that shiz, okay? Here's the thing. The playing field is set. It's not May anymore. It's actually October, in case you didn't realize. So the football field of how we do business has been in play now for 5 months. This is the 6th month. I hear people all the time go, yeah, but it used to be. I say, shut up. I don't care what it used to be. This is this football game. We're not standing up at the plate at the baseball field and hitting and go, I'm going to run to third. I'm going to make my own rules right now. Shut up. The rules are set. You want to play? I do. Let's go. We know how to do this. We know how to bring the product we know how to eat the product like a champ. We know how to get hot and sexy and ripped, okay? Or on our journey, right? Jiggling away, jiggling less. And then, next thing you know, you're like, ain't got no jiggle, man. I'm hot. Okay? You're always hot. But, you got to believe that too. Okay, we know how to bring the product to the marketplace. We know how to follow up. And if you don't know these, then you take a deep breath and you call your upline and you go, listen, I got a confession. I don't know what the frick I'm doing. Can you help me? But you got to be part of the solution, not a victim about it. Those who tell the truth, listen, if you're dancing with, hey, I got all the moves, I got the coolest hats, I got the coolest gear, I got everything, but I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground, then listen, stop for a second and get in communication and say, listen, I know I'm awesome, but I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground, okay? Can you teach me how to do a retail presentation over the phone? Can you teach me how to do a one-on-one with the product catalog? This is not a product catalog, okay? Can you teach me how to go through the flip book, because I'm interested in recruiting, and everybody who's working in the fast food restaurants doesn't want to be there. And yes, we need people in all aspects of our society and the workforce, but there are people that have guts and desire. Style was in the restaurant and got invited to come to the HOM, I think. But I like my version right now. Okay, and some of you on this line, you understand what I'm saying. But so where you may have a weakness, don't be hiding. Okay, you don't have to broadcast it on a team call. Just get in communication It's called getting to work. Okay, it's time. It's time. Fourth quarter sets up first quarter. You guys got a call in 7 minutes, so I love you. I was going to do Q&A. We'll have to do it another time. Nicole, I'm going to pass it back to you. You don't even have to say anything except goodbye because I know everybody's got to brush their teeth and all that jazz for the HOM. Love you. Hope there's been value. Shout it out.
If anyone wants to share, if we could just get one share on maybe what you got, or does anyone have a question? We can take one, possibly two. 27 years of experience right here, trained by Mark Hughes.
Yeah, I got one really quick. Well, not a question. First and foremost, thank you so much, Mr. Michael Katz, for always just keeping it real. I love the language and the curse words because it makes you seem like you're a real person, and that's just what we hear about. But he basically said it all, guys. Get to after work. That's it. Fourth quarter set up first quarter. It's only 2 quarters in Herbalife, baby. What are we going to do about it? That's the question. So write that down for yourself, and let's get to work. We know where we got to get to. We got to get the presidency and beyond. So no more talking. Let's work for it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Is that Ari?
It's Abdul, her husband.
Abdul. Okay, great. Awesome, buddy. But here's the thing. That he's absolutely right. But if you hear that and you go, yeah, but, then I'm talking to you about getting on the phone and getting yourself clear because you deserve to have what you want and are committed to out of your Herbalife business. So someone says that, and if you're in a brick wall, then you go that's personal development, being willing to be, okay, look, I got some barriers. Let's go. All right? If that's the only thing that you guys get out of here and we free some people up, woo! Lakin ready for cuts. Woo, 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 woo. All right, guys. Anybody else?
Honestly, thank you. After even 27 years of still giving, it just honestly, from a leadership standpoint, you teach me a lot, and I look forward to my 27th year and being in the space to give back as well, and still being in the game.
How many years will that be from now?
23.
23 and 58 is what? 81. I'm going to be 81 and excited. No, I don't know. I got to figure out a good word would go with 81. Any event, listen, go make some people's days and get them registered in the next call. I love you. I'll see you around campus. Text me if you need me or find me. Nicole, I appreciate the opportunity to be with the team, sweetheart. I love you.
We love you.
Let's go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you, squad.